Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're gonna be nicer to retail staff after watching this video. Mum blows up over $9 and my customer service. This is my first time posting on this subreddit, so I'm gonna try and keep things as vague as possible in case this lady finds this post and tries to get me fired for a second time. This literally just happened a couple of hours ago, so I'm trying to remember it as well as possible. I work in a 2-floor department store as a cashier. I just came back from a leave of absence and today was my first shift back. That's fine. Getting into the groove of things can be tough, but I managed until the last hour of my shift. Since I just came back, I'm no longer used to my customer service persona, as I assume most people who work in retail have one. So I stumble a bit, but I get the gist of it. Which is fine if I'm not completely in it though. I'm a pretty polite person anyway, and most of the guests that come through my checkout are nice and we get along. I've never had a customer complain about me, ever. So this mum and her daughters come up to my register and I scan her one item and the screen reads asking how much it is, which is fine, it happens, sometimes items get missed. I asked the woman if she remembered the price, and this is a customary question because if she remembered that, then I wouldn't need to do anything else. She says, "Why would I know the price?" Sorry, I'm poor and I have to look at the prices of things and remember them. We live in very different worlds, Karen. Before I can even do anything, she's asking her daughter to go get another one and I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. Some guests prefer just to get another one of their items if this happens instead of asking a team member since they know exactly where it is and it won't take as long. Also, this item is in the area right next to the registers. I turn back to the moment she remarks, "Great customer service," and I stop and in my head I'm like, what? You just asked your daughter to go? This is when I start getting confused as I wasn't sure why they were being rude because what was happening was normal. At this point it's obvious if I say now that I could ask someone else who has one of those devices that they may be able to look up the price, she would freak out and say I sent her on a wild goose chase, when the area is right there and she was already on her way. Her and her other daughter go on and on about the customer service and I am appalled. I would never in my life say things like that about a person I'm standing right in front of. I'm also still so confused about why she's getting angry so quickly and especially over one cheap item. I think looking back at it now, I was so confused because originally she behaved so calmly while making vague mean statements so I didn't know she would blow up. In my confused state, I make a mistake because I think she's chill and bring up the devices and she goes off. Saying that, "So you could have asked someone over there to look up the price instead of sending my daughter across the store?" First of all, that's not what happened. You sent your daughter to get another item, and this is a thing that happens a lot. Second of all, you sent your daughter before I could even bring up other options, so I thought you'd be okay with it. Third of all, the section she was going to was right near us, not even close to being across the store. The other daughter comes back and the item brings up to $9. The mum takes the original item from me as I'm about to bag it and says, "I'm gonna go talk to someone, see what the manager thinks." She said my name was such a hard pronunciation, as you can imagine. Before she leaves, I try to get her to stop so we can all calm down because obviously there was a miscommunication. Though I'm wondering if she just didn't like me from the get-go. I'm a woman with a buzz cut, and these 3 women were very obviously on the higher end of things and dressed very feminine, and someone earlier in the day had made a comment that left me uneasy, so that's what made me think about it. I start by saying, wait, hold on, and put up my hands and she shushes me. At this point I'm shaking, not because they're gonna go get the manager, but because I don't like confrontation. I know this mum thinks I'm the root of all evil now, but I'm not confrontational and I'm a pretty polite person, though I have a resting witch face. What's even worse while the situation is happening is that her daughters are agreeing with her that my customer service is bad and are also saying it right in front of me. So then I watch the mum from afar run to my supervisor. I'm still shaking as I check out the other guests, and another guest complains that the woman's screaming about the register, and I explain to her what happened and she rolls her eyes and says, "She needs to chill, you're cute, hun." Later my supervisor comes up to me and says that it's not a big deal what happened because she could tell she looked crazy. I was nowhere near being reprimanded or fired like this lady so obviously wanted because no one has ever complained about me. I can't imagine being such a rude person that you try to get someone to lose their job and income because your daughter walked somewhere for a $9 item. So if she comes in another time, I will literally put on my biggest smile so she knows I'm still here and I'm one of the better employees. Of course Karen's gonna get agitated over a $9 item. Jeez. It's also sad to see she's obviously raising little mini Karens. Brace yourselves, retail workers, it's only gonna get worse. So you were charged 78 cents and you say it should have been 75 cents? You do realize you're complaining about 3 cents, right? This is my first post to Reddit, and even though English is my first language and I write fiction in my free time, typos and mistakes happen, so give me a shout if you find something I missed. I used to work in retail for just shy of 9 years. In that time span, I worked the front checkout as a cashier, an attendant at the self-checkouts, the courtesy bar where customers can process returns and exchanges or buy cigarettes, the floral counter, and occasionally the apparel desk. Yes, we were a big store that did everything, but didn't really do it all that great sometimes. Jack of all trades and a master of none, as some would say. So anyways, this story, as most do, takes place at the courtesy desk. As I mentioned, we sell cigarettes here, rent out carpet cleaners, issue rain checks, process returns and exchanges, and handle price discrepancies, all while being expected to answer the phone in a timely manner. Don't you dare let that phone ring more than 3 times. On this particular day, my store had corn cobs on sale for a multi-buy special. You know, the kind of sale that's usually something like 2 for $5 or $2.99 each? Well, my store tended to do things a little differently, and the customers loved it. For us, instead of that single item being $2.99, you could buy one and still get it for $2.50. They just advertised it as 2 for $5 because, you know, business. So for our store sign, multi-buy prices would always list the individual price in a smaller but no way illegible small font below the multi-buy price. Always. This meant that for the odd occasion when the individual price would be higher and a customer tried to dispute it, we could point it out and say that it's a multi-buy, and that would be it. But not today. Anyways, onto the story. The sale for corn was 8 for $1. I know, it's a steal, but for some of you clever readers, you might have noticed that $1 divided by 8 is 12.5 cents, and no store in their right mind would list something for half a cent. So the sign read 8 for $1, or 13 cents each. No big deal, right? Wrong. Not for this lady. P.S. This was years ago, so the dialogue isn't verbatim, but it's to the best of my memory. So I'm standing alone in courtesy, as we call it, and an older lady, late 50s at best, walks in with a receipt. I greet her as per normal, and she seems very pleasant. A nice surprise for most of the older people that came into the store. I swear, most of them just wanted to give us a hard time. I ask how I can help her, and she puts her receipt down on the counter and says, "I just bought some corn and was overcharged." She points out the corn in her bill and shows that the price is for 8 for $1 or 13 cents each. I nod and ask, "Oh, what was the price supposed to be?" "It was supposed to be 8 for $1, she says. "I only bought 6, so I should have been charged 75 cents and I was charged 78. I pause for a moment and take in the fact that this woman is squabbling over 3 cents. I do my best to hide my reaction before I work some quick math in my head to find that 6 times the individual price of 13 cents would in fact be 78 cents. I then say to the woman, "Actually, miss, the price is right." Before I can even explain myself, she interjects and says, "No, I was doing the math when I picked them out and they should be 12.5 cents each. In that case, they would be 75 cents. After all, I was too short of the full 8 and 2 times 12.5 is 25. 25 cents off the dollar means 75 cents. I had to hold my breath as she went around explaining this to me in so many roundabout ways. At this point, I was thankful for my years of experience in keeping my retail composure. Smiling to her, I politely explained, "Yes, I understand, miss, but the sale is part of a multi-buy and you need to buy all 8 for the multi-buy price to apply." "But this store always has the individual price the same as it would be if you were to buy the whole amount," she argues. She wasn't wrong. At the point in time, our store never did the elevated individual pricing. That change wouldn't come about for some time. But still, no store would list a price in fractions. I understand, but it says right here in your receipt that the individual price is 13 cents each, which is only because we can't actually list something for 12.5 cents. So if you were to buy the full 8, the register would adjust to the proper pricing. I know it's a little weird considering how our store pricing normally works, but it's only because they couldn't evenly divide the dollar by 8. I'm sorry, but the price you paid is right. She looks at me, still remaining calm but not at all convinced. She's made her point and I've made mine, but she's not happy. She wants those 3 cents. I can see that she's about to argue further, and at this point we've already discussed this for easily 5 minutes. There's no one behind her in line, but I've had enough of this conversation and I absolutely refuse to call my manager over 3 cents. It would be beyond a waste of time since I've had managers bend to the customers for way more. At this point, I take a soft breath and say, "Miss, I can refund you the 3 cents, but the price is right." At this point she smiles and says, "Yes, I think I'd like that." As soon as she says that, she looks down to her receipt again, and I'm so thankful because I could not stop myself from mouthing "wow" in an elongated manner as she was oblivious to it. I took her receipt in my hand, and this is when the whole situation just got better. At our store, our return policy, as is the case with most stores, is that the refund must be applied in the same way it was paid, meaning that if she paid on a credit card, I had to refund it to her credit card. And boy, did she use her credit card. So I key in a corn cob for a refund, altering the price to 3 whole cents, and look to her as I say, "Okay, the refund will go back on your credit card since that's the way you originally paid for it." She hesitates a moment, and I can only guess she's about to ask me why I don't just give her the cash. Surprisingly, she doesn't say anything and just fishes for her credit card. You're lucky, lady, because I was not giving you cash. For those of you who don't know, Canada has removed the pennies from circulation, which meant I would have had to give her a 5-cent nickel, and with a minimum wage currently of $14 at the time, she already wasted over $1.17 of my time, and I wasn't about to give her 1 penny more. This is so ridiculously petty. Who would waste their time arguing over money you could probably find down the back of your sofa? Okay, so that's all for r/Tales from Retail. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching.